Seemingly, there is more brand new Crash and Spyro content on the way, along with allegedly more remakes of other titles in Activision's library. Let's talk about it.
No!
What's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and I am back with some news that is very exciting for most people. See, in a recent Activision press call, two questions were asked that related back to our Purple Boy and Orange Nutbag, and perhaps future returns of other IPs. Before I continue to rattle on and give my personal thoughts and theories, let's take a listen to what they actually said. I am not going to quote them, I'm going to play the actual recording so you can hear them for yourself. There are two questions here, so let's take a listen to the first one. The first question was, how meaningful was the remaster business and opportunities for further remasters in the future?
Hey Mike, it's Rob. I'll take that one. So at Activision, we have seen great results from remastering some of these beloved games over the last couple of years. You know, if you look at Crash and Saint Trilogy, Spyro Reignited Trilogy, and Crash Team Racing, they're all incredible games, and our teams have done a really great job in modernizing them, for today's platforms. The player response to each of these has been fantastic, and I'd say, for example, if you look at Crash and Saint Trilogy, that one sold through over 10 million copies. So they're obviously having a big impact on our bottom line and a real impact there. But I'd say what's really important is that it's reaffirming the enduring nature of these franchises for us. And as you mentioned, when you look at our IP library, we think there's a lot of IP in there the fans are going to want to experience again. So on that one, I'd say stay tuned for some future announcements. But, just beyond pure remasters, there are also a lot of opportunities now to innovate and think about totally new content within these IPs. So as we think about it, there's a lot of growth opportunities for the business over time within Activision based on our library of IP, and frankly, more broadly across the company, where the company collectively has a ton of great IP.
Now, here was the second question. The caller asked about the general future and opportunity of brand new IPs.
Happy to talk about new IP initiatives, but first I do want to just pause and emphasize that we feel fortunate to already have a number of large established franchises with global recognition and passionate communities. And it's worth pausing there because we do feel strongly and see results around thinking of those as beachheads that we can build on, where there's tremendous scope to innovate inside of them. And we do feel if we execute on that potential, the company should be and will be substantially larger than it is today. And we think this is not just true for ourselves, but broadly in gaming and entertainment, where large established franchises really do give you a significant competitive advantage. And we're leaning into that. That said, that doesn't mean we're only focused on the existing portfolio of franchises. We have new IP projects underway across each of the businesses. And as you mentioned, we've had we think one of the best or one of the top track records of putting out new IP. And part of the reason for that is that we have a very rigorous greenlight process through which we put new ideas. We're looking at creative, at commercial, at design, at every stage of development, from prototyping all the way through to build and testing. And it's a high bar, and honestly, many and maybe most ideas don't make it through. But we think that rigorous approach is the right one because of the demands of the fans and of the industry are increasingly significant. You have to be disciplined about the process, not just because it's the launch of the IP, but it's about sustaining it and growing it over time. That's by far the best experience for the players when you can launch and sustain and grow. It's also, by the way, by far the best business model. And it's what really drives the returns. And so that's what we look for. And that high bar, means that it takes time for us to bring, games to bear. And it also means we don't talk about our plans too early. But I want you to be rest assured, we have new IP initiatives underway. And given our track record, we feel pretty confident about our ability to have success here over the future.
So there were two really important points to really draw from the first question. The fact that Activision thinks they have quite a bit of IPs in their library that they feel could get the remastered treatment. and that within the IPs they already re-released, they feel there is many ways that they can create and innovate brand new content within these older but treasured IPs. Then from the second question, though they did confirm there is new IP initiatives for each of their other companies, they also emphasize heavily that there is plenty of room for innovation for them to be able to continue to grow the games that have already been released, relating back to the fact that they feel they can create and innovate more within the IPs that they have already remastered. So essentially, with everything that's been said, it would seemingly be that more Crash and Spyro content is on the way, except this time Activision is seemingly focused on brand new content for these games. That means that Activision is seemingly more focused on brand new stuff like DLC, along with entirely brand new games for Crash and Spyro. So, though this is great news, it is sad for those who wanted more remakes from Crash and Spyro. Fortunately, I'm not one of them. It's time for new stuff for the franchise. Speaking of, Activision might be remaking more games outside of the legendary duo. But what exactly? What games does Activision make that is deserving of the same treatment of Crash and Spyro? Could they be talking about the comeback of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Pitfall, Guitar Hero, or perhaps one of their even older IPs? Only time will tell. Now, back to Crash and Spyro. We might be finding out sooner than we think about when the next games are coming. Remember, they had said to, stay tuned for future announcements, so we might be finding out soon. Gamescom is also around the corner, and Activision already has confirmed to be there and showing something off. What is that something? I have no idea, but it's entirely possible we could see perhaps a Spyro DLC level revealed there. That's just my own personal theory though, which I am going to be diving in later on, so make sure you are subscribed for that. But there are also other showings like the PlayStation Directs and many other places that Activision could show off their new stuff for Crash and Spyro. So, all we gotta do is unfortunately keep waiting. By the way, a huge shout out to my Patreons and sponsors on the channel. I appreciate your support and letting me be able to do this full time as I got a family to feed. If you want to support the channel, the Patreon is in the description below, and be sure to subscribe for more nostalgic content. And while you're at it, why not check out another video I recently made? Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.